get started, okay? Everything I use here is autoclave sterilized, meaning it's been put through a process of heat, steam, and pressure. Exactly. Be sure it's as clean sterile as you can get. Defend symbol changes from a green, like you see here, to a brown, that's been sterilized properly.
Okay.
You also need to know the majority of needles I use are brand new. The only time I touch them is put them in a package and sterilize.
Okay, so you're using captive hoop?
To start with, yes. It generally it's a little more stable. It allows for a better healing process for the initial piercing, and changing is perfectly fine after about 2 months of healing. Would that be okay?
I was kind of preferring a curved barbell, but I mean...
I don't have any barbells in stock that really would be appropriate of length to use for that, and to be totally honest with you, barbells do sometimes cause a certain amount of healing complications that I would prefer to avoid.
Okay.
If we start having trouble with the ring and your body's just not agreeing with it very well, if we have to change to a barbell, we can discuss that down the road, and we'll figure out how to do that for you, okay? Is that okay?
Yeah, that's whatever you think will be best. What gauge are you using? 16?
We're starting with a 14 gauge. If you prefer to go down one gauge as we heal.
Down to...
Okay, we don't have a 16 gauge to start you with. And one reason that I would prefer not to use a 16 gauge for the initial piercing is your chance of migration is just going to go up exponentially by doing so.
Yeah, I've heard that larger gauges are better with...
preventing migration, right, exactly. So we're going to start with a 14 and then de-gauging to a 16. Whether you're ready to change it out in a couple months is perfectly fine, no problem.
Okay.
Okay?
Alright. I think whenever I do decide to change it out, I'll probably come here and have you...
That's perfectly fine, and I will change it free of charge for you. Just bring your jewelry with you, okay?
I'll probably just keep it in and come here, you know.
That'd be fine. Alright, first things first, we're going to prep and clean the outside tissue of your rook. This part doesn't hurt, it's just a little bit cold, okay?
Yeah.
Alright, now we're going to make a mark, and I'm going to start by just placing it in an average spot. I'm going to let you check it out, and if you'd like to move it or adjust it, you let me know.
Okay, the main thing I was wanting is so that when you look at me straight on, I wanted it to, like, once I have that curved barbell in it, it stays, like, hanging down straight. You know, like, I've seen pictures on the internet where it's crooked or...
Right, you don't want it to actually follow the curvature of the rook. You'd rather prefer it to have a more vertical appearance,
yes,
correct?
Okay. If you think that would be okay.
Shouldn't be a problem. Shouldn't. Now that is going to dictate some of the placement. I have to place a little bit higher on the rook to do that, because going lower we're going to miss the ridge of the rook itself, okay?
Yes.
So I've got a good recommended placement here. I want you to take a look at it. If you prefer to move it or adjust it, let me know and we will see what we can do. Can you see it?
I would actually like it... Oh, you said you need to have it higher...
A little bit. To go anywhere past this point downward is not going to work for what you want to do.
Okay, I just want it a little bit further out, if that's okay.
A little further to your outside?
Yeah, a
okay,
little bit further
absolutely.
out, if you can...
Shouldn't be a problem. Let me wipe that one off.
Yeah.
Alright. Space forward and relax for a moment. Now I left a small indication of the original dots so that you can see the comparison. I want you to look at it, see if you like that any better.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like that.
Now I'm going to double check that with the rear structure of your ear and make sure it's not in an unsafe range, okay? Alright, I'll say this, that should be completely copacetic. There should be no problem with that. It does slightly, because of where it's at, raise the chance that we may get that rear breach that I was talking about. Now that's a very small chance, and I'm going to do everything I can to account for that angle in the piercing of it. If for some reason it does actually give us a indirect tissue, then we may have to just try to redo this at another time or something.
Yes.
But I don't think it's going to be an issue today at all.
If you needed to like go a little bit further in order to avoid
I think
that,
it'll be fine.
okay.
I'm just telling you for protocol's
Okay.
sake. All right. Now I want you to take yourself a few moments simply to breathe, relax, get as comfortable as you can. I want you to let me know when you're ready to get started. All right. I'd like you to turn your head over so slightly that way. Very good. I want you to get the most comfortable, relaxed position that you can. You're welcome to keep your eyes closed if it helps you relax. I want you to start breathing very deeply in through your nose. Good. Letting out very slowly. Try and relax more with each breath we take. Good. Deep breath in. Good. Let it out slow. Holding very, very still. Good. Take a deep breath in. Good. And let it out slow. That's it. The worst is all over and done with. You okay?
Yep.
Good.
Fine.
Oh, that part's a little intense, but it's all over now.
Yep.
We're going to get your jewelry into position.
Nice as I thought it'd be. I'm pretty good with pain, so.
I noticed. It's not the worst piercing to get by far, but it's definitely not the easiest.
I've heard it's one of the more painful ones.
As far as ear-based cartilage goes, yeah. I'd have to say it's
there's a
up
lot
there.
to pierce through.
All right. We're just getting your jewelry in place now. Just need to hold it super, super still for a moment, okay? And that's it. Your jewelry's in position. Just need to hold real still while I get you put together, okay?
Okay.
All right. We're going to put the bead on the end, then clean you up. Still feeling all right?
Mm-hmm.
Good. Get you all cleaned up here, okay?
The worst was about like 10 seconds, afterwards. And
Yeah.
Then now it's fine. So
Sounds about right.
probably be sore later.
Oh yeah, you're going to have a little bit of residual soreness with this, just like any other cartilage-based piercing. But like any other cartilage-based piercing, that's going to get it about its worst point after the first 2-3 days. And after that, every day should be a little bit easier to deal with. Just like cartilage, you want to try to stay off this as much as possible with everything. Phones, sleeping on it, anything that you can possibly take care of, you want to try to stay off of it as much as absolutely possible, okay? Now, while this is healing, like any other external piercing you ever get, these little crusty tissues developing the outside of the jewelry.
Yes.
It's kind of gross, but it's very normal, okay? It's nothing to worry about. Now, contrary to what you may have been told in the past about piercing, please never at any time turn, rotate, or manipulate the jewelry.
I heard it can irritate the.
Cause a lot of problems, exactly. The only thing you need to do for your piercing is simply clean it 2 or 3 times a day. First with a plain basic antibacterial soap such as Dial. Alright?
Dial soap?
Yeah, it's perfect. It's excellent soap to use for that.
What about the H2O Ocean? Would you recommend
H2 Ocean
that,
is
or-
fine, but to be totally honest with you, if you're wanting to go the saltwater method, H2 Ocean is basically just overpriced salt water. That's really all it is. It's a can of pressurized salt water. You can make the same mixture by going to any health food store and getting a bag of sea salt and making a mild mixture out of that with warm distilled water. It's the exact same thing. So aside from that, like I said, if you are going to go the saltwater method, you still have to use the soap at least 2 to 3 times a day, washing first. Best way to do that is wash your hands very well. Use your fingertips to very gently scrub around the piercing itself, and then rinse, and then use your salt water mixture, okay? To use that, you want to use basically just 1 hefty pinch of salt in a bathroom cup. You want to use just enough water to dissolve that, soak a Q-tip with it, and then just use that to clean top and bottom very gently with, okay?
I'll just go with the soap method.
There you go. Well, if you are going to use the soap, you should use a follow-up cleanser of some type, and the easiest method is actually to get a bottle of this product here, Bactine. It's a very common, very mild liquid antiseptic. You find it in any drugstore or pharmacy around. It does a very, very similar job in healing to what salt water does. It's just less labor-intensive. $2 or $3 for a bottle that size, and it's going to last you about 3-4 months. So, same method though. After the soap and water, put just a drop of that on a Q-tip and dab at the top and bottom. The added benefit to the Bactine is it also has a lidocaine solution in it, which is a skin sedative. It's going to help keep your soreness and irritation levels down too, which with cartilage is a benefit, okay? Now, you'll be tempted to overuse it because of that, but still keep it down to just 2 to 3 times a day max, okay? We can change it. I'm sorry?
I should wash it with the soap how many times a day?
So the same, about 2 to 3. In fact, you should, before you use the Bactine, use the soap and water method, and then the Bactine is a direct follow-up to that, okay?
Okay.
Changing is fine in about 2 months. If you're not sure if it's ready or if you need help or assistance, as we said before, come and see me, and I'll help you out, okay? Feeling all right?
Yep.
All right, check it out, see what you think. You like it?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Now I want you to take a care sheet with you. This tells you everything I did and then something about how to take care of it. Read it, follow it. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you call me or stop by anytime. I'll be right here to help you out, okay?